Tutorial by LearnFast Studios.
Welcome back to Learn Fast with RK. Did you ever see this notation of the function definition? If your answer is no, and if you want to know how this notation can be used and then where it will be used, then this session will help you to resolve this. In this session, let us learn what is ANSI notation of the function definition, what is K and R notation of the function definition, and then what are the difference between these two notations. Let us also verify some of the important facts over this K and R notation at the end. Let's get started. The ANSI version was introduced in 1983 by forming a committee, and the final draft of this standard formulated and released in 1989. This is the reason why ANSI is also called as an C89. Later, we witnessed different standards in ANSI evolution along with ISO in 1990. Then they were called as an ISO-C and C90. In 1995, C95 version was introduced. Later, C language timely updating its standards, and in 1999 C99 standard, and then in 2011 C11 standards were introduced. Currently, we are working with the stable version of the C11. This is the history of ANSI version. We have seen several function definitions till now. If you want to have a introductory session about these functions and definition, I have a list of videos in my tutorials. You can watch them. This ANSI notation was most frequently used version of the function definition. The syntax is given like return type, space, function name, and then formal parameter declaration inside the parenthesis. Then within the function block, the statement. We can observe the void sum int a, int b, and then printf %d a plus b. This is the most commonly used version. Let us see how this will get executed in our code blocks. In this program, we are having a function called as an sum function, which will take two of the parameters, both are integers, which will calculate the sum of it and prints inside this sum function. This sum function does not return any value. Here in the main function, we call sum function with the parameters 3, 4. Now the values 3, 4 will be transferred to the called function sum, and a will get initialized with 3 and then b will get initialized with 4. The values which are passed from the calling function to called function now get added, and then the result will be displayed with the sum value. Now let us execute this code and check what is the output. Output is 7. This is very commonly used notation we use in our C programming. Now let me introduce you one more kind of the notation. This K and R version, which introduced in 1978 by the Kernighan and Dennis Ritchie. De facto, it was not the standard, but so many people used this K and R notation. Several C compilers use this K and R version, Kernighan and Dennis Ritchie version. In this version, the syntax is given like return type, space, function name, and within the parenthesis, we only mention the variable names. But whereas the declaration for those variable names is given here after the prototype before the opening bracket of the function. Let us see the example. We already seen how to define a sum function. The sum function will take two of the parameters int a, int b. Here in the K and R notation, in the formal parameters, we don't use the data type for the declaration. We only mention the variable name. Later, we will use this declaration part int space a semicolon int space b semicolon. Likewise, you can also mention any other parameters that you want to pass. This is the notation Kernighan and Dennis-Ridge. Let us see how this will get executed with the code blocks. The only change in the K and R notation, here we will use directly the variables as in formal parameters, and then below that we will write down the declaration part. Let us execute this code and check. I got the same output 7. That means our code blocks is saying that you can also define this function in K and R notation. Let us get back and see some of the important points here. Though K and R notation is available with the standard, in later versions of the ANSI and then ISOC standard, the K and R function definition was deprecated. But you may be surprised why we can able to execute that in code block. In some of the ISO C11 compilers, K and R syntax is still supported. If you try to execute this K and R syntax in every compiler, this may not get executed. It is also mentioned that it is not available in ISO C++ standard version and also not considered readable by most of the C or C++ developers today. The programmers are discouraged to use this K and R function definition. The point here why we are discussing this K and R function definition, in our old gate page you may encounter the function definition of this type. In order to help you to solve those problems in an easy way, I would like to address the difference between ANSI and then K and R notations of the function definition in this session. I hope you understand this K and R notation, its usage and the difference between ANSI standard in this tutorial. Thank you for listening. Please find the code used for the demonstration in the description section given below. Thank you. If you like this video, please like, share. Don't miss any update from the channel. Click on the bell button and subscribe now.